We're hitting the road and I would love for you guys to come on an adventure with me today.
We're exploring Comitán and the surrounding areas. We're gonna head to some ruins, Chinkultic, and then we're gonna head like an hour and a half away
to the border to visit
Lagos de Montebello.
We're starting our trip off in Comitán.
Good morning, sunshine.
Which is about an hour and a half to 2 hours from San Cristobal de las Casas, Mexico.
If you're new to me, hi, my name is Karen, and my daughters and I have been traveling full-time for about 5 years and using Mexico as our home base for the past 2.
And we're out with some friends today. And the first thing we're gonna do is have some breakfast so we can have energy for a long day. I ordered 2 traditional comiteco meals, and one of them had
pan compuesto,
which has beans, salsa, mayonnaise, carrot, shredded chicken, and cheese.
This is the sandwich. The other one we got. And pellizcadas is this,
which was a crispy tortilla with a little bit of beans and then cheese on top. Then my daughter also ordered some chilaquiles with arrachera, which is a kind of meat. And my meal came with
this traditional hot chocolate. Oh wow, it's delicious. The difference in the way they make hot chocolate here, they actually ground the cacao beans. Thank you, Kelly, for my hot chocolate.
And thank you everybody for your support. You guys are amazing. And of course, we needed a sweet treat. And they had this donut place right next door. Most of the restaurants on this strip were Mexican, except for this one that had the donuts with funky toppings like Nutella and Oreos.
There's a lot of museums, a few museums and things to see here in Comitán, but we always come when we're headed somewhere else.
This is because Comitán has Chiflón, Lagos de Montebello, cenotes, ruins, all kinds of stuff close by.
So now we're heading to Chinkultic. But one day we have to come specifically
to experience Comitán and everything that's in it. But for now, we're on our way to our first destination. What I like about this area of Chiapas is that there aren't that many curves. Aside from being beautiful, there's areas with rolling hills of short grass that doesn't seem to grow any taller than that. And there's cows and beautiful little neighborhoods. It's a really nice drive.
¿Solo ponemos el nombre?
Sí, pero el nombre de usted como representante de grupo.
You're not allowed to bring backpacks or any food or basically anything. We were allowed to bring the water and a purse.
Chinkultic se descubre en 1925. Lo descubre Frank Blanc, que iba a Tikal, Guatemala, y prácticamente se hospedan en un rancho que se llama Juncaná. Y aquí les dicen que en el rincón hay un potencial que aquí vivió el pueblo maya. Por ejemplo, esto que tenemos aquí, este es el palacio de Chinkultic. Ya está sondeado, ya se sabe lo que hay, mas no está descubierto.
Grass grows over all of it, and there's different layers of communities that have been built on top of each other.
Debe parecer perfectamente el rostro, mira, si le toma esto, exactamente, y el otro personaje está aquí.
This was only the beginning, and it is a hike. It's a long walk through the jungle, and you know, you see some ruins throughout, but then you have to hike up all the way to the shaman's temple, and it's kind of steep. The stairs are short, but
she loves this kind of thing.
It requires a lot of energy. But it's gorgeous and totally worth it.
That's a cenote where the bells that were sacrificed were thrown afterwards.
Yeah, there's probably long decayed bodies in there.
Entonces estos escalones llegaban hasta allá. under this tree there's a temazcal, and they would bless them there with herbs before they were brought up here. And this is where they were sacrificed, and their heart was taken out of their body, capped, and then their body was disposed in the cenote. So this giant pile where the big ants that they sell in the markets for you to eat, that's their home. Even though this set of ruins has less buildings available, I would say it's more walking than Palenque was. At least that hill was a lot more steep, I think. I could be wrong. Maybe it's the altitude that made it feel like that. He says it's higher altitude than San Cristóbal de las Casas. We're headed to the Lagos de Montebello.
And this was a fairly short drive. It was about 15 minutes or so. And there's 5 lakes that are on the edge of the street that we're driving on. And first we got to a toll booth for the area, and it was 58 pesos each. And then a toll booth to the actual lakes. And this lake you can actually swim in. And they also have food in every lake, but some lakes have heavier traffic, and those are more recommended for eating because the food is fresher.
This is Lago Montebello, but they each have their own name. Collective of about over 60 lakes. It's also called Lagos Montebello. First lake, they gave us this one, and you just present it at every booth, and they will just like make a little hole on it, and you can go on. So you only have to pay once. So it was 30 pesos for all the lakes.
Now this is the second lake. It's called Five Lagos because of its shape, and it had a lot of tourists. So I think this is one of 2 that the tour companies actually bring you to. And this one you could not swim in, I was told. Now this lake had stairs for a mirador, and then it also had stairs going down to the edge of the lake. Now we're headed to the third lake, and all these lakes are within a few minutes of each other.
Y mi teléfono dice que estamos en Guatemala.
So apparently cell towers change in this area, so just be careful you don't get roaming charges. I got a message on my phone saying that I had arrived at Guatemala, and roaming charges may apply. And that's because this lake
is officially Guatemala. If you look right there, there's a monument with a Mexican flag and a Guatemalan flag.
Because we are on the border. And this would be the second lake you can actually swim in.
This is so gorgeous. It's like magical. I'm guessing you can rent this, but I don't really know. If anybody's curious, there's food there.
Este lago se llama Pojo.
And now we're going to the last lake, and again, look, tons of people, so I think that this is the second lake that the tour companies take you to. And both of the ones that I just told you, you can't really swim on the shore.
500 for the boat, so for 4 people to go to this one, 800 to go to the trip we're doing.
So once in a lifetime opportunity, so I chose the long one.
Hey, say cheese!
Now this area is preserved by the local community. They're the ones that take care of it, and
He's a volunteer. The amount that we paid goes to the actual preservation of the lake, and then whatever we tip him is what he gets. This is so cool! getting. So the boat is made of cork. Chiapas belonged to Guatemala. This lake also belonged to Guatemala. It was a Guatemalan national park.
Eso es el significado de este lago, lo que le viene dando el nombre de Pojo. El nombre del lago es Pojo y el significado es las palmas sobre las piedras. Viene de un idioma maya que es el chu, un idioma guatemalteco, ya que anteriormente este lugar, siendo parque nacional, fue habitado por familias guatemaltecas. Ellos son los que se encargaron de ponerle nombre a los 59 lagos que tiene este parque.
Look at the color. Es increíble cómo cambia el color de un...
¿Damos el chalequito por ahí? Yo aquí les espero mientras se enfría tantito.
Mientras descansa usted que está remando solo. That's where we went. That's where you swim. And this one, we're gonna go to an independent lake. It's magical. Okay, I'm exhausted. But this is so amazing. Magical. So the lakes have been protected since 1919. So there can't be any construction. There can't be any cutting down of trees. There can't be any motorboats on the water. It's beautiful. And he says that the only part that isn't perfectly, sorry, let me breathe. That isn't perfectly preserved is the fact that they had a fire a while ago and a lot of the trees burned down, so there is new growth, but the trees used to be huge and they used to go all the way down to the edge of the lake. Now it's time to swim.
Now we're arriving at the island so we can swim.
This is our last stop.
Y ahí está la orquídea nacional de Guatemala.
Esta moradita.
La monja blanca. Si uno la observa, entre sus pétalos tiene un punto blanco. Eso es lo que le da el nombre de monja blanca.
And in this highest part, they have a mirador as well as a collection of orchids, including the very special the orchid of Guatemala.
They have changing rooms.
And there's one particular section that you can swim in. There's also a place to jump off.
There onto here. With my two kids up there. I mean, I have to be honest, it's kind of weird to bathe in the lake with everybody watching. But the water's so nice. Can you see it? It's so nice. I don't know, can you see all the people? Well, I guess some of them left. But there were like 10 men just standing there. I think it's totally worth it. Even if there's people watching, because the water's so nice. Not to mention that we just rode for an hour and a half. And it was hot. Look at my face, it's red. It was totally worth it. And it was so hot. So the cold water, it's like a present. So we hadn't done this trip because we were told that you couldn't swim here. I actually went to a tourism agency and they told us that we couldn't, that it was a protected area and you couldn't swim in it. Luckily, since I've lived here for a while, I had a contact. And he said that you could, as long as you took the little boat, which is what we took, right? Like the little rowboat right there. But there's also several lakes, 2 lakes, that you can actually swim in. So I'm guessing that the tour itself doesn't go to these other places that you can swim in. So I suggest you get your own little guy to take you around. So pretty.
And I got some
tamales for the way home.
trip
Officially over. Thanks for watching. Love you. Bye.